Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. It's the DJI Flip. Sorry it's taking me so long to do the next few videos. It has been really cold and I got really sick. Finally got a nice sunny day today, nice and warm, about 60 degrees out. This one's gonna be all about test flying the Flip with a phone, without a phone, and actually with the RC2 controller with the screen on it. This is probably gonna be a long video, so bear with me. With the Flymore combo, you get 3 batteries, you get that RC2 controller with the screen on it, and a bunch of propellers, this nice bag. I am giving one of these away, guys, so if you want to win a brand new one in the box, which is actually this exact one right here with the ND filters, throwing in that too, you can win this exact one here. Wrapping still on it, has not been opened, brand new, and make sure you enter because it's ending soon. So one of you will win this, so make sure you're a subscriber and enter that drawing for your own DJI Flip. You guys will get a little personal sign note from me as well, whoever wins that drawing. Anyway, guys, here we go. Let's get started and put this Flip through everything we can throw at it in this initial flight test video. I always like to see how it is if you want to just have a drone and your phone in your pocket, how this thing can actually fit in a pocket. I did a little comparison on the Neo in the unboxing. If you really want to see the size comparison, check that out. It's actually the same size, length, width, and thickness as the Neo, but where it gets different is the Neo has part of it tapers off. This doesn't really taper off. It's just one big chunk of a drone. So really the only thing I can fit in my slightly baggy pockets are the propellers, just to let you guys know. The Neo I could fit all the way into my pocket. This one, not quite. All right guys, so first flight is gonna be DJI Flip and my cell phone. First off, we have to take off this cool camera cover. Pretty good camera cover. It also covers the sensors on the front as well. And something new is this little rubber extra camera cover as well. There are a couple of settings in here which makes it turn on. If you just unfold it like this, it will turn on just like that. And you can also make it turn off when you fold in the legs. So there are settings you can turn off and on in the DJI Fly app if you want to do that. DJI Fly. So you're gonna have to download this, make sure you have it. Basically what it does is it'll detect it here. You can see how there's a little box here where it says DJI Flip. All you have to do is press the power for 3 seconds and do what it tells you to do to get that thing connected for the initial connection. I do have like a 64 gig card in here, so we can hopefully get some lengthy 4K video. I am in a high altitude area. I'm like 7,500 feet up above sea level, so that's why you're seeing the caution up there on the left, and of course my security camera's going off. So here's all our modes right here. If I just click on that, we have manual control, follow, droney, circle, rocket, spotlight, and direction track. Awesome. So they did do some updates since the Neo. That was one of the things I was complaining about, was to change it really quick in the mode you are instead of going back here and going into the mode and the settings. They got the settings right down here now, so that's awesome. That is definitely an upgrade. It looks like 4K can only do 30 frames per second, no 60 here. So we'll do a manual first, and I'm going to start recording. Okay, and take off. So just click and hold like you would other drones. All right. And remember, this is full manual control. So if I wanted to do landscape controls, I just press this button here. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and pull back and go up. So you can see that the screen controls are doing this. They're just the overlay on the screen. And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just do a range test here. Look at the little camera button here. I'm just going to tilt it down a little. Just basically click and drag. I'm just going to pull back. Max flight distance reached. And you can see that we've reached the max flight distance, which really is only looking like about 100, 150 feet. So while we're out here, let's try a return to home. So this button on the top left. Wow, all we can do is land? Max flight distance reached. That's too bad. Max flight distance reached. So they took the return to home away. I remember when the Neo first came out, it had a return to home. Max flight distance reached. I can't believe they took that away. Max flight distance reached. So I want to come back. Is it going to let me? So be very careful, guys, flying this too far with just your phone. Remember, this is mainly meant for like a vlogging selfie drone. There is no return to home. Unbelievable. Okay, anyway, that's just giving us a little taste of flying it manually. I'm just gonna move my fingers around left, right, you know, turn the head. So just like you could on a regular drone, but it's very slow. This is the max speed. No numbers up on the screen, but as you can see, that's it. Just really slow. Let's see if that front obstacle stop is working, if I just kind of fly straight into me here. Yep. Wow, it gets really close though. That's just a couple of feet away. So that's how it is in manual mode, guys, on the phone. I'm gonna go up here and I hope at least you got a gist of what all that can do, you know. I'm gonna press back. That's gonna get us back into like landscape with the phone. And we're gonna go to a different control, and we can't do anything unless we press stop, until we press stop. I just wanna press this. Yeah, that's all we have is land. Interesting. So stopping the video recording. That should have been 4K 30. I don't know why it's not giving me the option for 4K 60. And let's just try a follow. This is interesting. It says obstacle sensing unavailable as soon as it starts to scan you and follow. I thought it was gonna have obstacle avoidance while it was tracking. So, hey fly. Farther.
No problem.
So it looked like it was following a little close. So now it should be going a little farther back. So this is how it is, just kind of walking. I'll turn and face it so you can kind of see me a little bit. So if you're vlogging and stuff, it should also have a noise canceling thing. So we're gonna test that on the speech. Go ahead and give that a test. It's weird because it's seeing the obstacles, is giving me a little beep. I don't know if you can hear that. So it is working. It stopped at those obstacles. I don't know why it shows them blanked out. That's weird. So anyway, I'm not gonna do too much here. I'm gonna just kind of go through this forest real quick and see if this might be a candidate for, you know, bobbing and weaving, or if it's just gonna stop too quick. Because the Neo is kind of cool. It would crash once in a while, but you could really track yourself well. Let's just see what happens here. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Landing.
Okay. So you probably saw that. It hit this branch and just didn't want to have nothing to do with that. So almost like it's exactly the same as the Neo. Where if you were too far away, it would just kind of lose you and crash. So you'd have to make it like really tight. Close and flat was the best for the Neo if you want to do tight tracking. Let's just try that. I do like how you can change these settings straight from the main screen though. They did upgrade that. So we'll start again. Hopefully everything's good after that crash. Okay, automatically starts recording. And let's go through here. Let's try this again. So it's gonna be super close to me now. Wow, yeah, it's almost hitting that tree. Let's see if it can retract me. If I come back into view, there we go. So tight turns, yeah, that's gonna be, I'm gonna be putting it through the paces, guys. I'm gonna go on the trails with a bike after this, later in this review. So hang in there if you wanna see a mountain bike ride through these single track trails. There's like hundreds of miles of trails right outside my house. It's gonna be awesome. So stay tuned for that part of the video if you wanna use this and see if it works for like mountain biking and stuff. Do a little bit of running. See how smooth that video is? Yeah, it looks like it'll work pretty good unless you go in like really tight turns like I did against that tree. Hey, fly. Farther.
No problem.
Just telling it to go farther back. Hey, fly, farther.
Okay.
That looks like that's kind of the maximum, same exact distance as the Neo was. And that's not very far. That's only about maybe 8 feet. So it wants to stay within 8 feet at its farthest. Hey, fly higher.
Okay.
Okay, you can see it's slowly going up. Only a few feet on each action. Hey, fly higher.
Okay.
All right. So that's the farthest it can go back and the highest it can go. And really, that's only about 7 feet off the ground and 7 or 8 feet away. So if you want to get any farther than this, you're not going to be able to do it unless you have the controller, right? Like the RC2 controller. It is good at tracking, good at following. It seems definitely a little bit better than the Neo as far as keeping track goes. So let's try a quick little droney. Let's start from right here. Go. So it's going to start recording and it's going to pull away and rise. Make sure it's going to rise, guys, higher than the obstacles behind it. So you want to plan this out. Remember, no obstacle avoidance in any other direction. Stop and re-recording. No other obstacle avoidance sensors than the front. And they don't seem to work super well in cluttered environments. All right. Finish that droney. I'll have that video up so you can see it. Let's do a quick little circle. So you really got to make sure that when you're doing circles like this, it's not going to hit anything from the sides. That's as close as I can bring it. And let's see when I hit start, 7 feet flat, doing video, start. It's backing out 7 to 7 feet. And now it's turning around, or it's circling. So remember that's gonna happen. So you wanna plan your surroundings for it. So that is a safe 7-foot circle. Get some cool orbit video for you vloggers. So after this, don't forget, we're doing a bike ride, guys. It's coming in close, right where I started from. That's pretty cool. Let's do a rocket real quick. Let's do a kind of a higher one, and let's put some rotation in on that. Okay, and start. So it's gonna come in close. Really looking at the stability, right? Looks like it started recording at that height. So this will be a good indication if it's got better stabilization, and it looks like it does, than the Neo, because remember the Neo is not a 3-axis, this is a 3-axis gimbal. It's keeping me locked in, still has a little human form on me, is reaching its max height, and it's coming back down. The video looks much more stable than the Neo did. I can tell you that right now just from looking at my screen. I will have that up, guys, so you can analyze it. So it's now just about right over me. It's like it's gonna stop right there and then go back on down to its starting point. That's great. So wouldn't have thought anything less from a drone at this price range. We're getting much better video and stabilization than the Neo. So Spotlight is essentially where it just sits there and kind of tracks you. Let's say if we don't click on, if we just leave the plus there and then start. Okay, so as long as you see the plus, it will start to track you. And remember, this is Spotlight, which is kind of like a tripod, right? I think over the years they've changed this name, the tripod. It's just gonna stay there so you can do your thing. It's just gonna track you, go in and out of camera view, get close if you want to, go back. You could be doing something, who knows, working on a bike and talking. And it's like you have a little mini tripod. And remember, you can put this thing anywhere in the air by clicking the manual controls and slide this sucker around. Okay? And it will still track you. It'll keep you centered as possible. You can go up, you can go down, and you see how the camera's just adjusting? Let's go ahead and try a photo in Spotlight. So I think this will just start taking a series of photos while you're moving every few seconds. Yeah, so I'm hearing the indicator on the phone. That was one, stop. Yeah, it waits for you to stop. So if you're moving, it's not gonna take a photo till you stop. All right, that's kind of a cool feature, I like that. While we're doing that, guys, we can do the same kind of thing. We can move it around manually wherever we want.
Return to home promptly.
So there we go, we got a low battery indicator. So we'll do one last thing. I wanna just do a direction track. And what this should allow is from wherever you put it, it will stay in that direction and track you and move. Medium, flat, start. Okay, I just wanna talk while I'm moving, and I just want it to go back on its own. Okay? So say you're doing whatever, making a vlog video, you can do this. And it looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Let's see if we start to go this way, sideways. It's trying to, wow, whoa, easy buddy. It knows where the front of you is, and it's gonna try to get back to that area. So be really careful when you turn. See, I'm now turning this way, watch the drone. Let's see. Nope. It just switched to rear track. So same thing that the Neo was doing. If it, for some reason, didn't think it could get around you, it'll just start doing follow.
Critically low battery warning.
Okay, critically low. Maybe we'll just see what happens, guys. What do you think? Just stopped it there. Let's just do a manual flight and go up a bit. Oh, low battery landing. So it's gonna confirm. You got like 7 seconds. I'm gonna put my hand underneath.
Landing.
Otherwise.
Aircraft landing automatically.
So that's kind of your limit. Otherwise it would have landed on the gravel. That was a great test with the phone. Now what I wanna do is put this thing up. You can do it without any phone at all and just use this function button on the side. So hang in there, we got lots more to do. All right guys, we are gonna ride a bike now and try to track ourselves through the woods a little bit. If you wanna set the modes, it looks like you're still gonna need to open your phone up and make sure that your modes are set. Close, flat, and video, okay?
Circle, rocket, spotlight, direction track, follow.
Hey fly, start. Hey fly, take off. So you see nothing's happening. So it has no idea what I'm saying. Once you get in the mode you want, you just have to press and hold this button, the mode button on the side. Pressing and holding.
Follow. 3, 2, 1.
And that's how you do it. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip my camera around so perhaps you can see the drone while I'm riding. So remember, we're at close proximity. I think if this was, whoa, it might lose me there. Yes, it did. There you go. So you saw how tight that turn was. It didn't want to have anything to do with that. It just stopped at the tree. And there's another branch that doesn't want to have anything to deal with. So you see these limitations? So you're gonna have to avoid those kinds of things. Let's see if it can follow me. That was close. Okay. All right, let's get going here. Enough jerking around. Let's see if it can handle this. I've done this with the Neo. And the Neo, believe it or not, did pretty well. It did crash a couple times. I'm gonna start picking up the pace here. And you guys be the judge of how you think this is going. I'm going 10 miles per hour. I think the Neo crashed right around here somewhere. Woo, that one didn't. Nice. So it looks like the AI is working pretty good. It's trying to follow my trajectory and anticipate it a little bit. Just go a little bit more on this trail, and I want to pick up the pace kind of hard, go a little faster when this trail opens up. And okay, full throttle. Nice. I'm just waiting to hear a crash. I'm going about 15. "15 miles per hour, guys." I still hear the flip back there. Woo! And there's some low-hanging trees and it's not hitting them. You just gotta make sure it's like at the same height as you. I heard her hit something and I just stepped right in the mud. So there you go. That's what you can expect. It did hit something, just telling it like it is. The flip has flipped. It looks like it was probably swinging and hit one of these trees right here. Ooh, so we got a dirty top. It just sounded like it spun out and then crashed upside down. It doesn't seem like it did any damage. No dirt in the camera, that's good. So just the top here was dirty. That's all that happened. And let's come home and follow. All right, let's go. Man, I stepped right in that mud. The snow is almost all melted. There's a few like little muddy spots. Some rocks there. Ooh. I'm just gonna jam kind of how I was. So I guess if you can help it, try not to sway side to side, but you gotta turn. This will be awesome if it can, woo, withstand crashing. Oh, son of a... Oh, it picked itself back up. All right, good job, Flip. Oh, not that time though. Oh, it did. So it must have saw that tree and just like, I think both of those were just fast brakes. It just did a braking maneuver as hard as it could. So if you don't have as tight of trails as this, it actually may do much better for you. Just kind of limit the trees and stuff. Okay, some encroaching trees here. And you may just need to, like, you know, slow down. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go down to the cul-de-sac. But great test on riding a bike. It doesn't seem to be able to see vehicles, but it can see people. Oh, man. It tries to save itself. You guys probably heard that. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Uh-oh, where are you? There you are. That would have been some good footage, because it's probably going to record until it turns its propellers off for the flight. I got no propeller chips. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's harming it at all when it does that. So these prop guards / ducts are working really well to protect the propellers and all the internals, because these things, they seem like they can take a bit of abuse. I'm not seeing any damage, just a little bit dirty. Try this again. Ooh, I just went into some mud there. So we're out of the trails and it seems like it's doing pretty darn good. We try maybe a couple different modes on the road here. Ow, ow. Okay, so that's why they tell you not to stick your fingers in it like you launched it, because I just got this pointer finger right in the back here. I was trying to do this, which is only for launching, and when you're landing you have to do this. Do not put your fingers up. You have to have a flat hand, but at least it detected it and kind of shut down. It didn't like hold my finger in there and keep chewing it up. It was a little sore, but there's no damage. I don't know how much power I have left, but we're just gonna do this until the power dies on this road here. I wanna do a direction track. Remember, that's wherever you place it. Side, front, it should maintain that. We'll do a front one here.
Direction track.
Okay. Whoa. Watch out, buddy. So I guess I kind of screwed that direction track up because I went away from it. So you got to be ready in the direction you want and launch. Let's try that one more time.
Medium. Direction track. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Oh, you know what I think it was too? I do remember reading something where if you stay still, it will stop and come in and hover. And I think I was staying still for too long. So you can't stay still for more than 3 seconds. So, you know, direction tracking. I'm swerving here and I'm giving it some different angles. It looks like it is really gonna amplify your swerving, so be careful. Because it's just like looking at your face and seeing which way you're facing. Pick up the pace a little bit here. Let's see if we can go a little faster. We're at medium track, remember? Ooh, and yeah, it's 10 mile per hour. It just did that. So see how it's no longer able to stay in front. And that's what these consumer DJI drones have problems with, is really keeping up. Especially these small ones like this. But remember, this one has way more flight time. I'm gonna do a hard stop. Hey, at least it didn't hit me. I don't want to stop for 3 seconds or else it'll stop tracking me, right? I'm gonna start picking up speed. Now this should be kind of with the wind a little bit. And I'm just gonna see if it can keep up with me. Going 15 miles per hour right now. 17. 20. See if we can lose it on this stretch. 25. This is as fast as the bike can go. Whoa. Nice. I want to kind of go with the wind and see if it's possible to track any faster from the front.
Medium. Direction track. 3, 2, 1.
Might be a good idea to do a far if you're going this fast. But anyway, let's try it. Whoa, stay with me, man. Yeah, it was kind of just like the Neo where right around 10, it just can't do it. It just resorts to regular rear track. New mission, lose the drone. Going 26, 27, 30. Hard stop. Wow, it actually kept up. Woo! It kept up going 30, that's awesome. So much better in its rear tracking ability to keep up, even in a slight breeze from its front. Try another hard turn. Whoa, a little bit of ice there. Whoa. Oh, ooh. Oh. Stop. Okay, that's good to know too. If you're starting to think it's in rear tracking mode, it's eventually gonna try to get back in front of you. Man, I'm glad it didn't land in this mud. Still going, all dusty and dirty. Look at this, guys. Buddy. Whoa, that was weird. Yeah, I think the camera was just too dirty. Okay, my friends, that's enough for me. You know what we need to do? I got one more battery and we need to fly it with the controller, the RC2 controller with the screen on it. Didn't have to do anything to resync it to the controller. It remembered. A lot of you guys are asking about motion controller and FPV goggles. Just to let you know, I asked my contact at DJI and they said there's not really a plan yet to make it compatible with the motion controller and FPV goggles. It shouldn't be too hard to do that, it seems like, because it's using the same technology, the 04 OcuSync technology, as the Neo did. Yeah, it's got a better camera, but it looks like everything is just about the same. So it doesn't look like it would be too much trouble for them to get it compatible. If you want to see that, go ahead and comment down below in the comments and let me and them know that you want to see that compatibility. All right, so I'm recording the screen on the controller now for you so you can see kind of everything I'm seeing on the controller. And I just want to see just if it flies like a regular drone, you know, if it's got the same flight characteristics. So we're going to record in 4K 30. And here's where actually we can go up to 4K 60. So this is interesting. Only on the DJI RC2 controller that came with this combo, I can choose 4K 60. I can't yet choose that in the app on the phone. And say I just want to launch from the screen, we can take off here. And that's the auto launch. Cool. I'm gonna start the recording on the 4K. And let's see what we can do, man. I'm gonna get here in the shade and we'll just kind of fly around here on the property just a little bit. We'll do a little bit of close proximity. It detected me and I'm pulling full stick forward, pushing. And it is not coming any closer. So no bypass, but at least it won't run into you or any other things. We're in normal mode right now, and it's just flying like a regular drone, man. Yep, pulling back. Yeah, and that's how it sounds. You know, you guys probably heard it a bunch in the other tests. Let's get up kind of over here, over the trees, and kind of see what functions we can do. I just want to get out so I'm not like hearing this whining sound so much. Okay, so same things as any other DJI drone. We have our AR functions there. You can see that we have that artificial home point since it knows it launched right there. There's the house there. Let's see what we can do here. So we can do, I showed this in the unboxing, we can do touch focusing. So say you have objects near or far and you want to touch focus on those, that's great. You can do focusing and you can do locking if you just hold on it. See how it locked it there? Hold on it to unlock it. So that's good. And then we have our EV settings here. We can either make the video darker or brighter. See how that really brightened it up? Darker. I'm not using an ND filter today. I'm just going to leave it at 0. That seems to be pretty good for this light. And then we have this top right roller button, and I'm just rolling it to the right, and look at that zoom. So we do have a 3 times, and I'm thinking that's, I don't think that's digital either. And then we have our left roller here, just pushing it up and down, and we can just fly this thing like a regular drone. Look at this. So this is great. So not only can we use it as like a selfie drone that's light and somewhat portable, we can also just fly it around like a regular drone with the sticks on our controller and look at the screen, fly around here. I want to zoom into this tree and really see if it does have a lossless zoom. I think that's what I was looking for, the word lossless. Yeah, maybe at the very end it looks a little more pixelated, but it could just be me. But I think it has a 3 times lossless zoom. That's great. All right, so what else we want to do? We want to see some, maybe some speed tests here. I'll just keep this camera kind of at a 45. And looks like we're maxing out in normal mode at 17, 18 miles per hour, going that direction. Let me switch it to sport while I'm pushing forward. We are maxing out right about 26. Okay, that's our max speed there. 26, 27. I'm just gonna kind of turn around here, slowly turn. Meanwhile, guys, take a look at this camera. Remember, I want you to see how the quality is on this camera. It should be very close to like the Mini, DJI Mini 4 or 4K, 4 Pro. So yeah, it looks like there's a little headwind there, so I'm only going 20. So we had the wind going from the back. Let's go back into normal. We're only able to go about, wow, what happened? Yeah, able to go about 13 to 15. Getting a couple of gusts out there. Let's switch into cinematic. Just that button on the controller, I'm just pushing it left or right. We're maxing out at 13 about in cinematic. Let me do a spin around here, go with the wind. So all the time we're looking at this, we're looking at the video blockiness, we're looking at the screen as well. I just did a manual focus to the middle. Yeah, about 13 for cinematic. And let's do our up and down speeds. On the bottom left there, you can see the vertical speed. 4.5 up for cinematic. And about 3.5 down for cinematic. Let's try normal. Pushing full up. 11 up, and how fast are we going down? 11 down for normal. Switching to sport. We've got full throttle up. Wow, same speed, 11 up and 11 down. So sport up and down is the same as normal. It just goes faster when it's flying horizontally, okay? So nice. We got a ways out there. We're about 2,000 feet away. I don't see any breakup yet. I'm trying to point it. It's going through all these trees where I'm standing, so that's the thing about range, is the amount of physical interference and electromagnetic is really going to affect, you know, how this thing does, or any drone does. Something else I've been wondering is if it can track a vehicle. So I just have this, my daughter's car in the driveway here, and I thought it mentioned somewhere that it couldn't, but let's just give it a try. So you don't get that like cross box like it would if you tracked a human. Let me just give you a demonstration of that. If I just walk into view here, see how I have that little green cross reticle on me there? So it detects humans, okay, but no cross reticle for a car. Even if I kind of zoom around the car, it's pretty obvious that that's a car shape, but it doesn't want to give me a box for it. So let me just try to draw a box, my own box around it. Boom. Oh, that was obstacle avoidance, okay. So it can do spotlight, that's interesting. But what if I try to do active track? Only supports following person subjects. POI. Hey, we can do a POI, that's interesting. Yeah. So let me see it. Oh, but you see how quickly it just lost it? So it looks like something that, unless they open that up, it's only meant for human subjects. It looks like they can do some updating. It would be nice, you know, to make it more universal, because any angle, look at that, supports following person subjects. So it's not going to follow car subjects. So that's unfortunate. Something I just wanted to check real quick. It'd be great if they all just had that ability, since it seems like they have the same hardware anyway. Why not, you know? Just enable it. The cool thing about this one too is, remember the Neo only had like 15 about max flight time, max. This one supposedly has like over 30 minutes. So that'll also be part of this test. Let's take maybe some photos here. So I'm gonna stop recording on our video. We'll go into a photo mode. So, you know, so say you guys got the Fly More combo and you want to use this as a universal drone, here you go. Let's see how good it does. Let's take a photo there. There's one. There's some jet lines. Take another one. Jet lines in the clouds. Let's go ahead and take one of the trail down there. I'll focus in, maybe adjust the EV a little bit. It looks a little bit bright, so let's tone it down a bit. Nice, and let's take one of that. Let's get our EV back up to 0. Well, cool. And then remember guys, this thing has like all of these, let's go back to the house too, and let's try some of these master shots. I just want to show you really quick. I mean, this is going to be a heck of a long video, but a lot of you guys want to know these things. I'm back. I'm in sport, so I'm coming back as fast as I can. Can hear that thing zooming back. I hear it coming in. Let's skim these trees here real quick. Woo! Nice. There he is. Stop. Wow, it only took like 5 feet to just completely stop. That was awesome. Anyway, that was kind of a cool test. Speaking to the versatility of this drone, I want to see if it can, you know, like track an object like you would any other higher end DJI drone. So I'm going to circle myself here. So it looks like the sensors are still showing they're turning off, but remember we tried that before where they still work and they're tracking. So I don't know why they show that they're off there on the top. We have spotlight, active track, and POI, just like we would with like Mini 4 or Mini 4 Pro or any other DJI drone. Let's go ahead and see if we can do a kind of a POI here. Yeah, absolutely. And I can still push on the controls. I'm pushing up here. That's awesome. So to get out of the way of trees and stuff, it looks like it lost me around that tree, but look at that, it just retracted me. And then I can also move the camera up and down just a tad. So you can do all these same functions with this ultra universal drone. That's awesome, man. So not only can you track with your phone and have that kind of limited distance, but you can go way the heck out here. Let's see how far we can actually go until it like loses track of me. I like to do this just to see. So we're currently at what, 47 feet high and 100 feet away. Let's see how far we can get until it sort of loses that human figure. Wow, we're 200 feet away and it's still got a little box around me. 90 feet high. So I don't know if it's just the black shirt I'm wearing and the gray driveway, but look at this. I'm just walking back and forth and it still has an eye on me. That's incredible. So this is even better than some of the higher end drones as far as what I've tested before it loses lock on you. Let's see if we can do a POI at this distance. That's unbelievable. Too high, okay. So that's our limitation. Let's go in a little closer and try that again. Yeah, look at that, wow. Oh, it lost me again. So finding some limitations, but you know, this is great because at least you can kind of manually fly it around and track the thing you're tracking. You know, I could do a manual POI, even though it doesn't want to do it automatically. Look at this. I'm just pushing to the right. It's keeping me centered, and all I have to do is have one hand on the stick. So it's got a lot of these higher end drone functions in this, you know, labeled vlog only drone. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck, it looks like here, which is great. Active track. Yeah, so that's too high. So it looks like, let's see if we can go under 200. Nope. I wonder what the limitation would be. Let's try right there. Active track. Too high. Okay, so we're finding some limitations though, because that's only 43 feet. So it's almost like it looks like you can do it, but not quite. You can manually lock and fly, but when you want to do these automated functions, it doesn't let you if you're too high. See, I can't even do it at 22 feet high. Let's come down. So it has a hard limit, it looks like. There you go, that's working. So I had to get, you know, a little closer, and now that's gonna work. That's gonna active track me, so. But the funny thing is I can just push up and it will go higher while it's already active tracking. Let's just see how high we can get. Probably maybe 50 feet. Okay, so right around 40 is when it just doesn't like it anymore. But still, that's way higher than you could do anything with the phone only control, right? Let's do some master shots, all right? So here's the homestead. And say I want to get some kind of cool shots for a video. I'm going to go into master shots. Now this is kind of a combination of quick shots. You don't really have to do much. You just start it. Let's just start it. We're going to draw a box as much as we can around the house. Kind of center on it. All right. There's a little map that comes up. Let's start it. Okay. Flight parameters, this is normal through DJI drones. It's gonna take 2 minutes to do it this way with everything medium. We'll do large as well. Okay, so you can do that, small, medium, large, and that's just basically how far and how large is gonna make that entire parameter. So maybe get the height that you wanna start with so you're not hitting anything. Make sure it's like over trees and stuff. And here we go, let's start it. See, now it's gonna take 3 minutes. Since I've made everything large, it's gonna take another minute.
3, 2, 1.
And let's just see what it does. Okay, it's gonna adjust its position first. And it's gonna start off by doing a droney. So this would be great if you're, trying to do maybe real estate with your drone and you're trying to do a cool, just random shots of a property. This is what they all can do, and no different. I think the medium would have been good. We're kind of too far away right now. I would have liked to be a little closer. But anyway, this is what you can do. And just remember, you can adjust all that. It is showing us the map here. We can click on the map and check that out. It's showing you the perimeter it's going to go and do that function, right? So that is awesome. Click back on the video. So I like all these little AR and diagrams on there. And here's a down and forward shot. Let's see if we can adjust the EV while we're doing this. It looked a little washed out, and you want to adjust the EV, you can while it's going through these. I just turned the EV down 2 points. Okay. What if I click on the house? Nope, it's not gonna let me focus. So it just dropped the GPS point on the house. And there we go. So this is the master shots, guys. So that was a circle close. It's using the zoom function on that. And it didn't look like it's going into digital zoom, which is great. Oh, see, so that's what happens when you have the EV too low. See how it got kind of dark there? So usually you want to adjust your EV if you're pointing down. The lens gets kind of screwed up, it looks like, in too much sunlight. Camera down and fly forward. Nice. Just getting basically a goulash of shots. Circle and up. Camera down and circle. That was cool. Camera straight and descend. You want to show the environment around the house? There you go. So that was just one example of how to use this thing, for a little collage, if you would, of videos that does everything automatic. From this far away, look at that. It detects me down there in the driveway with that little green X. That's awesome. So just like other drones, guys, you can do these master shots. You can do these quick shots, hyperlapse, pano. Let's see the quick shots. So what master shots is it's kind of most of these mixed into that master shots. I'm not going to really do much else here because we kind of already know how everything should operate from so many other videos. I do want to try maybe a pano. That'd be kind of cool. Let's do a pano of where the sun's at. That'd be kind of neat. Okay. I kind of want to give my EV back to 0. There we go. Yeah. That actually looked pretty good right there. And let's do a pano of kind of the sun and the countryside here. Okay, a little different. Interesting. So I just did the DJI Air 3S, and it kind of had a boundary you selected left to right. So this isn't allowing that. This is just doing a predetermined area, depending on the center of where your camera was, okay? And while it's doing that, guys, check out the map here. So you can click on little things on the map, right? You can hide it, you can expand it. Interestingly, oh, there's the compass. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So it does have the same compass as other drones, the ability to do that. So we did our pano, and I'll have that pop up for you guys to see. It's compiling it right now. Looks like it takes just a little bit to compile as usual. If you choose the map, you can also choose layers.
Battery level is low.
So I want to choose satellite.
Aircraft will return to the home point in 10 seconds.
So I'm going to cancel that return to home. I wanted to put satellite
Return
on.
to home.
Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. There's a satellite. So you see the satellite came on. So you can turn that off and on for the maps if you wanted to. I like usually to minimize them and put the compass on. Switch back to video here. Also does slow motion. Let's try a quick little slow-mo. Let's come on back. There we are. Oh, now it's warning. Let's try a quick slow motion, just to see how good it is. It's 4K 100, there's our options there. We can do 4K or 1080 at both at 100 frames per second max. Doesn't look like we can choose anything else, okay? Let's do a quick little slow motion video. It's just gonna be me maybe jumping around. Wow! Yeah!
Critically low battery warning.
Critically low. All right. Let's try this. Flapping out a little bit.
Landing.
Oh, it's just gonna land. Holding her up. You can hold this one up, guys. I wanted to do a return to home, but it was already too far past. Sorry about that. But we are at 7% battery, and check it out. You know, just like any other DJI drone, it's gonna slowly go down. It looks like right around 10%, but you can still push it up and try to get home if you want to.
Make sure landing area is safe before landing. Low
I'm just
battery.
landing it.
Aircraft automatically.
There we go. Just landed in my hand. Be real careful, guys, with getting your little nubs of your fingers in here, because I know it has propeller protectors, but they will bite the tips of your fingers if you curve them in too much. That was awesome, man. So I think we went through enough. It just flies like any other drone. Aside from it seemed like it, you know, it got a little bit more pushed around from the wind, because obviously it's got these giant circles around its propellers, so it's going to push it around, but it didn't look like it affected the video much or the flight time. So that was awesome. And I will have probably that last flight will be the main flight time test down to, we took that down to 5%, and that's like the second charge on the battery. Anyways, pros and cons. It looks like the camera obviously is going to be the major difference from the Neo. It's just able to follow you faster from behind. The camera is way better. It's what everybody wishes the Neo had. Can't do any goggles or motion controller yet, so I'm really hoping they enable that. Seemed like it did pretty well in the trails. It seemed just about as good as the Neo. The Neo was crashing too, coming around corners and hitting things once in a while. But the camera is what's really gonna make that video look a lot better with that 3-axis stabilization on that camera, because remember the Neo only had a 1-axis, and then it would digitally stabilize everything else. We're still getting that slow front follow, okay? It can't do anything over 10 miles per hour following you from the front, and while it flies backwards, that's a little bit of a con. But the rear follow, I couldn't lose it. I was going up to 30 miles per hour, and this thing, albeit got a little bit farther back, but it did try to keep up with me, and it did keep up with me. I got dirt all over this thing, and then it started malfunctioning because the camera was too dirty. Remember, it was doing that, but it stood up to some crashing. I'm surprised. I thought it might have like broken an arm or cracked a duct or something, but it actually stood up pretty darn well, guys. See if we close this thing down. 2.
Aircraft will power off in 5 seconds. Press any button on aircraft to cancel.
Okay, so even if you turn one arm down, it starts its power off mode. I remember you can turn that off in the settings. It's just in the settings of the app. You might as well make this thing as universal as possible. You can already fly it the same 3 ways as you can with the Neo. You might as well just open up, you know, goggles and that motion controller. So I really hope they do that. Not quite as compact as the Neo, but it's got so much of a better camera. It may be worth it for some of you guys. It just looks like they're releasing drones that are like just filling the gaps of every single drone they have. We thought they released them all, and then they come out with something else that's in between those. So this is like in between the Neo and something like the Mini 4. And you know what? No propellers got nicked or really scratched or damaged at all. If I had the Mini 4 flying, I would have cracked a propeller or cracked an arm. So it looks like this is gonna be more durable than say something like the Mini 4 line. So you guys be the judge. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear your comments down there, down in the video. We went through cell phone control, went through no control, and we went through the RC2 controller control. We also did that trail. That would have been really interesting to see how stable that video is, because I was weaving, dude. I was going from 10 to 15 miles per hour. And when you're weaving that hard on a mountain bike, that's what people want. They want to put flying cameras up in any situation, and they want them to have smooth video, and they don't want the drone to crash. It crashed a few times, so slowly getting better. That was the good thing about this, is it didn't lose me really as much as the Neo. Since it has that 3-axis gimbal, it's able to move that camera, which is its eye, around and keep track of you better. So that was definitely a plus. Kind of cool, kind of interesting. An interesting new line from DJI. Don't forget, guys, we're doing the range test next. I'm just gonna fly this thing out as far as possible, line of sight, see how far we can go, how far the battery lasts, and then fly on back, and hopefully we get home. And don't forget, guys, this is yours. One of you is gonna win this. You just have to go to the website down below in the description, enter, and one of you guys is gonna win this. It's that same Fly More combo with 3 batteries, a multi-charger, the bag, these ND filters. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.